Aries Girl Podcast. Zodiacs, we have to talk about this back and forth between Tamar Braxton and Jeremy Robinson. Yes, we have to. I don't understand why super grown people born in the 70s are bringing their personal problems to the internet like kids born in the earlier 2000s. I'm not trying to offend anyone born after 1999, but I said what I said. Everything doesn't belong on the internet, and the sooner some people separate their real lives from a reality TV show production, the better. Jeremy told the world who he was on the Queen's Court in 2023. I mean, I love a clean-cut man with a sprinkle of thug in him too, and nobody can say baby better than the way a man from New Orleans does. I'm just saying. Hell, not to mention that I'm a Saints fan too. Shout out to the Who Dat Nation and go Saints, but let me refocus. Tamar needs to understand that JR grew up in New Orleans in an area where he was about that life, and he even had gold teeth. Just understand that it shaped him in his formative years. That's where the hustle and the swag come from. JR turned his life around, got rid of the gold teeth, joined the military, and eventually became an attorney. Everyone can applaud the drive and determination in him. But it's like Tamar doesn't know how many kids with how many different women JR has. That should have told Tamar that he was always on the lookout for something and someone new. Sometimes, men like this eventually settle down, get married, and stay faithful. But most of them don't stay faithful because they always want something new and are always looking. It is possible that Tamar's newness wore off with JR. What Tamar and JR both have in common is they want and need to be seen, heard, and famous. Both of them have a love language that involves giving and receiving gifts. JR showered Tamar with gifts on the Queen's Court in order to court her, and they both showered each other with gifts after the show was over. The problem with Tamar and JR is that they both try to outshine each other's stardom to get even with the other person when they're upset. And they both try to ride the other person's coattails to gain more popularity and stardom. This in itself is toxic, because they both seem to get a little jealous of the other person if they appear to be outshining them in any particular moment. In a healthy relationship, both people should be able to shine without the other person being jealous, and neither person should have to dim their light to prevent the other person from being resentful. Tiana and Iman are a perfect example of one person dimming their light for the other. She skipped several red carpet events due to his jealousy. Tamar and JR have the same issue. Now, let's get into the Carlos King of it all. Tamar should have never let Carlos call JR Colonel Sanders without immediately and assertively checking him in real time. As a black woman who dates outside of my race from time to time, Carlos could have never said anything like this to me without me instantly popping off. Also, the non-black men that I have dated would have never allowed anyone of their race to do that to me. If so, the relationship would have ended at that moment. And since Tamar did a podcast with Carlos King, of course, JR had to do one with Carlos King as well to plug his new book and promote himself. According to JR's Instagram Live, Carlos King is the reason that he and Tamar are currently in the friend zone. I'm guessing that it is all of the reckless things that both Tamar and Carlos said and didn't say regarding JR. Who really knows? And at this point, I don't think anyone cares. But just know that Carlos King has once again inserted himself where he didn't belong, and another relationship has probably suffered because of it. Now, if Tamar and JR had thicker skin, this wouldn't even be the case. But here we are. They both seem to like to play with words and facts on internet rants, but Tamar needs to understand one major thing. JR can finesse nouns, verbs, and adjectives more convincingly and professionally than Tamar can. This is why JR appears more believable than Tamar while she's ranting in her videos. This is also what makes Tamar seem more animated and unhinged. When making videos or doing lives, JR's experience as an attorney gives him an edge that Tamar just hasn't yet mastered. JR can be angry and get his point across in an even-toned voice. Tamar, not so much. These two are always breaking up and getting back together, but I hope that this is the final break between the two of them because things always get extra toxic, and then it ends up on the internet. Neither of them seems to have the capacity to be able to have a healthy friendship post-breakup or divorce. I have no idea why they actually got married, especially if JR has seen Tamar on any episode of Braxton Family Values or Tamar and Vince, or even Dancing with the Stars. JR should have known what it was when it comes to Tamar. And if I was able to pick up on the type of person that JR is from watching Queen's Court, why couldn't Tamar? She should have known what it was as well. Now, I understand why Tamar and JR need to get divorced, because they appear ultra toxic as hell together. But what I don't understand is why they got married in the first damn place. Tyler Perry would have to write several sequels to his Why Did I Get Married series to try explaining this to us, especially since the marriage lasted around 2 months. Shout out to Kempire, where I just saw the court documents. The actual divorce documents state that Tamar and JR were married for 61 days, but that math isn't mathing because there are 47 days between the day they got married and when they separated. Maybe this will become clear in the near future, and if I find out, I will do an update video. I really understand the divorce, but I will never understand the marriage. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Also, why not go ahead and support the channel by subscribing so that you never miss an episode of the Aries Girl podcast. I will see you on the next video. Until then, take care.